Chapter 61, The Bravest Man of Us All. Ever since the first day I laid my eyes on you, I have been unable to look at any other girls. Please, Rachel. Please let me make you the happiest woman in this school. And no. The happiest woman in this world. As loud as he can, a desperate male student confesses his feelings out of nowhere. Even though he clearly sounds nervous, stuttering over his sentences, the owner of that voice still manages to finish what he has in mind. In a way, he is much better than Han. At least he can express his feelings without being scared of the outcome. As for Han Som the handsome, well, let us not talk about the protagonist behind his back like this. Just know that the amount of hope I have for Han is, limited. But thanks to the male student, every shadow person gathers around us, forming a big circle out of nowhere. The usual unintelligible noise settles down, leaving everything to that particular student. I have a feeling there is an invisible spotlight shining down on him. The girls, especially Blondie, may not know who that person is. I most certainly do. It is, without a doubt, the school bully who has a crush on Rachel. Do you still remember Laura's tragic death? If you do not, let me help remind you about what happened in that event. See, it is clear Rachel murdered Laura. Blondie was the ending to Laura's appearance in the main storyline. No matter how hard I tried to keep her from harm, the results were undesirable, to say the least. Not to mention, I even made it worse by intervening, which was why I kept myself from going overboard. Anyhow, there is no doubt that was how our class rep died. However, if not for this guy right here, Laura would have never gotten the chance to be saved by Han. And without such a catalyst, the class rep would not have offered her body to the main character as a reward. The school bully was the one who caused everything. He loved Rachel but did not have the guts to confess when she was still available. However, once everything was said and done between Blondie and Han, he regretted his decision and tried to make things right. I mean, that was technically not a bad thing. Being persistent is always good, no matter what you are trying to do. But the school bully did not see the red flags in his actions. Even now, when the plot has deviated far away from the original storyline, he is still as clueless. Firstly, it is Rachel. The Rachel we are talking about. What harm could it be, right? Piss off. As she turns and looks back at him, Rachel says so with a wild smile. Or else. Giwa. Shivers me timbers. See. What did I say? Bro, stop, drop, and roll. Wait. That is a wrong sequence. Do not try to talk back. Rachel is clearly not interested. Hear me out, save yourself, walk away for your own safety. An intelligent man would back off at this point. The school bully, frankly, is not such a type of gentleman as me. And that brings me to our second point. He has no idea when to take a step back. Please. Rachel. You are the only one in this world for me. The school bully yells, clearly ignoring Blondie's darkening facial expressions. Shut your mouth. Her ice-cold voice is filled with annoyance. Truthfully, I do not need to worry about the bully's situation since I cannot ever forgive what he did. Maybe I am a hypocrite, yet he can eat crap for all I care. Don't get involved with him. I hastily tell Rachel and Laura. If I could, I would tell them what would happen if we kept interacting with this guy. Sadly, they would look at me with worried eyes and bring me to the hospital after hearing my story. It makes sense, though. Who on earth would believe in such a story? Unless they knew about it already, Blondie and the class rep would only put their hands on my forehead to check if I had a fever. Got it, see? Laura nods slightly. Now that I am glancing over her side, she does not seem to care what is happening behind us. The class rep's face is a little scary, though. I wonder why. Phew, I thought she was about to stand in between Rachel and the school bully. This is good. At least there will be no confrontation, and she will not get into danger. See, can I get involved with you instead? My arm sinks deeper into the valley of softness. Rachel. The class rep says so with anger. Coincidentally, on Laura's side, I can feel her even more. Stop trying to steal him. I am not hearing anything. I am not seeing anything. As you should all know by now, the girls are more important. In addition, with this current situation, the person I am more worried about is actually Blondie. At her core, I guess Rachel is still a Yandere. And although her target has been switched from Han to me, she still has that nature within her heart. Without you, I'm like a fish out of water. The bully continues his cries. Then suffocate. Rachel bluntly says. The air around her is getting worse by the second. I am hopeless without. Rachel cuts him off instantly, then kill yourself. Take the hint already. God. As he keeps begging, I am afraid of Blondie suddenly attacking him out of nowhere. If Rachel kills him in the middle of the crowd, her school life will definitely end. More importantly, deep inside, I do not want to see her hurt by anything or anyone. It is a weird feeling considering what happened between us two in the previous runs. One would expect me to be full of hatred toward that blonde-haired girl. On the contrary, when I saw her crying alone, I felt like my heart was torn. Although I know Blondie has inhuman strength, that does not mean she cannot get hurt. She even got stabbed by me countless times when I tried to save Laura from her. Rachel is by no means invincible. She is actually more fragile than anyone would think. Maybe I am overthinking this. In the past, Rachel tried to hide her violent tendencies when Han was around. Except when he cheated on her, of course. Since I am a surrogate for the protagonist, I hope Blondie does the same for me. I'm sorry. The school bully quickly bows down. It seems that I am too late. Let's go, see. Our precious time will be wasted here. Rachel turns her back to him. Laura silently walks forward. As for Kurikawa, she is already ahead of us. But can you at least tell me why you chose him? Hey. No personal attack. Yet before I can say anything, someone has already taken the first step. What do you mean why she chose him? That is Laura's voice. The school bully glances at Laura and then back at me. I see nothing good coming out of that guy. A finger points straight at my featureless face. Scrawny, ugly, boring. He lacks only a pair of glasses to become a true king of the nerds. Why are you two fine ladies hanging out with such a thing? Ouch. My feelings. The dude knows how to hit me where it hurts the most. Since the beginning, I already get that my existence does not belong in this group. I mean, come on, a faceless guy hanging out with the main characters. If something like that does happen, it is no longer an Eroge but a full-fledged hentai. Suddenly, Laura lets my arm go. Excuse me for a second. Saying so, she quickly walks back to the bully. Her whole atmosphere changes from apathy to that immense rage in a fraction of a second. A surprised sound escapes my throat. Sorry, see. But I need to take care of something. Almost at the exact moment, Rachel moves. She even cracks her fingers on the way. You, too. From the dark looks on their faces, they seem to be furious. Is it because the bully was bad-mouthing me? Girls. I call out to the two, desperately trying to hold them back. I'm fine. His insults mean nothing. It feels weird being the mediator in this type of situation. Usually, the ladies would be doing this thing. No. It is not fine, see. Kurikawa's voice appears next to me. He did something he should not have done. After saying that, the bookworm joins Rachel and Laura with haste. Now, facing the bully is not one, but 3 people. Take it back. The class rep orders. Her voice is totally blank and void of any emotion. Sitting at the highest position of the school, obviously, old bully here will not comply so easily. Take what back? Don't play dumb, asshole. You will swallow your words and apologize to C, or I will make you swallow your tongue instead. Blondie gives no room for negotiation. There are things you shouldn't do. I could not care less if you wanted to approach Rachel. She is attractive, for sure. But what you said about C was simply unacceptable. Even though she is covered in bandages, Kurikawa still stands straight without fear. The bookworm makes me feel like she is the one giving it, to be honest. Het. The bully scoffs. It is rare to see so many first-class beauties at once. Before we begin anything, can I ask for your names? Rachel does not need to tell me. I already know hers by heart. I do not plan for you to get to know me. What you should know is that C is my boyfriend. Laura stresses every word in her sentences. The same goes for me. Although I care about C, I am but an acquaintance. Is it just me, or Kurikawa sounds a bit sad? It does not matter who they are. Say sorry. Now. Rachel grabs the collar of that bully. Sorry, Rachel. He smiles. Not to me, shit for brain. To him. Rachel turns her head slightly in my direction. Him. All right, all right. He must be an important person to you. Tui. He spits on the ground. Pussies like him are not even worth my attention. Slap. His face turns to one side after a loud slapping sound. So are you. Laura chillingly exclaims. Chapter 62, Laura, I want to kill this bastard. I never knew I could get this angry. As I stand before the bully, every fiber of my being is enveloped by a dark veil of pure hatred. In less than a second, from head to toe, I am drenched in an incredible amount of disgust. The closer I am to the school bully, the louder every cell in my body screams. They all want this abomination in front of my eyes to suffer for what it just said. Not just that, but his suffering and torture need to be slow so he can feel whatever is being done to him. The temperature in my body quickly rises to that of a volcano waiting for an eruption without any signs. Furthermore, as it keeps beating, my drum-like heartbeat is telling me to release that powerful anger onto that bully. Thankfully, my back is turned to C, so he is not seeing the contorted face that I am making. If he did, I do not know what he would do. Perhaps he would think to himself that I was sending deathly glares to the enemy and be afraid of me. That would no doubt make my heart break apart. Truthfully, I want to hold back. In C's thoughts, I am a well-educated person, a lawful good class representative, if you may. I sincerely wish for him to keep thinking of me like that. Bitch slapping someone is definitely not something he believes I am capable of. And that is how it should have continued. Even when Rachel kissed C, I only felt a deep sense of jealousy and envy rather than the current wrath boiling inside my heart. I was his girlfriend, but somehow, she was able to snatch his first kiss away from me. Personally, I intended to take it slow. If I did kiss him on the first day of our meeting, C would have thought of me as a loose person. Funny and charismatic as he was, C was clearly not in the best condition for me to be so aggressive. Concerning Rachel, she was technically naked already. That girl had all the elements for her kiss to be logical. She screamed for his name, and he came to her aid, even when he was terrified of the outcome. He was willing to sacrifice his life for her, so a kiss would be a good reward. It must have been that when C touched her, Rachel saw what he had done in order to save her and could not contain herself anymore. She might have stepped over the line last night, yet it was something logical, something C deserved. However, how she acted and C's thoughts made me wonder what happened between the two in the past. Given a chance, I will get an answer from Rachel. C might have disregarded the apocalyptic world he saw. It is only natural for him to be that defensive after all the pain and grief he has been through. Therefore, it is my responsibility as his girlfriend to find out about his past and heal his broken heart. The reason he saw that apocalyptic world and Rachel's role back then are two things that I need to make clear. Unless I want history to repeat itself, I must understand it first. However, right now, I have something more important to do. This waste of natural resources needs to be dealt with. What the school bully just said was simply unacceptable. No matter how much I want to contain myself, I cannot ever let him get away with insulting my boyfriend. My heart refuses to allow any threat that can cause C any pain. The fuck? Of course, someone with an IQ as high as a single digit like him would never be able to grasp what just happened to him. It is a miracle how he can breathe with such a sophisticated brain. Did Laura slap the school bully? I mean, she was always straightforward, but this is a new different level of that. Please, C, do not be disappointed in me. That was a good slap. I am not going to lie. And that compliment is not because of me, though. A low-grade insult coming from the school bully will never be able to hurt me. He should get that for all the crap he did to Laura in the past. Actually, I wish I could be doing that for her. Jolly good show, dear class rep. Wait. Shit. Now is not the time for admiration. That's the bully we're talking about. Merely stopping him from approaching Rachel, she was already facing a fate worse than death. That slap might have made everything a whole lot worse. What am I going to do? Should I kneel down and apologize in her stead? A warm feeling suddenly rushes into my chest. Even when C is not doing anything, I can still feel the encouragement in his voice. And most importantly, out of everything, he cares more about me than anything else. How on earth is there a dreamy person like C? And oh, kind-hearted man, there is no need to care for my safety. He is not facing one, but three people. Looking to one side, I can see Kurikawa clenching her fists tightly. Through her bang, I can see a pair of fiery pupils bursting with raw anger. Nearby, Rachel's emotionless eyes are creepily void of any light as she waits for her turn. Her current face is the opposite of what she has been showing C up to this point. It is simply menacing. Whereas C steps forward, trying to stop the commotion from growing more uncontrollable. C, sweetheart, Rachel turns back at C, cutting his sentence midway. Without a trace, her murderous stare turns back to the soft and cuddly face. Let us help you with something, okay? But, your safety? He is the bully. He is going to hurt you. What should I be doing? Just stand still, and we will bring you justice, okay? Okay. When they turn their backs on me, I will sneakily move over there and rush in if he dares throw anything at them. The woman definitely has talents. I will give her that. The fuck did you just do? The bully shouts. Do you want to fucking die? Don't think I won't hit you because you're a woman. I will do things much worse than hitting you, bitch. At the end of his sentence, the bully does not forget to eye me from head to toe like a sex object. All of his thoughts are clear as night and day already. Apologize to my boyfriend. I will not say this for the third time. Ignoring his threats, I deliver my ultimatum coldly. The bully looks straight at me. His face turns red from all the anger and embarrassment he got. He must think how shameful it is for a big and masculine man who is the embodiment of a Greek god is being humiliated by someone like me. Especially when one side of his face is the mark of my hand. No. Why would I do it? Because you told me to. He keeps talking big, but he does not dare to use force. Possibly because Rachel is right there, and he does not want her to think badly of him. Maybe in his feeble mind, he believes if he can show Rachel how kind his heart is, he still has a chance. Unbeknownst to him, what C has is something he can never surpass. What a pathetic piece of human garbage you are. I sigh heavily. You whore. What did you say to me? He screams louder than ever. I actually agree with the class rep. You really are leeching on the land. Please do this world a favor and kill yourself. That will benefit us much more than what you are doing currently. Kurikawa joins me. Fucking fuck. Fuck. He points his finger at Kurikawa. You goddamn shut your fucking whorehole up. Honestly, this is getting so repetitive that it is boring. Can we leave now? Is that everything that can come out of your mouth? How many obscenities have you used until now? Fuck, whore, bitch. That's 3, isn't it? Kurikawa clicks her tongue sadly like she pities the school bully. You lack so many chromosomes that it is hard to create a coherent sentence with better words. Okay. There is no time for a joke. The girls are literally poking a bear. I need to intervene immediately. FF. Cut. It is amazing how the color of one person can change this fast. Rage takes over with ease, and the bully raises his fist in the air, taking a stance to punch Kurikawa in the face. Shit. Kurikawa is in danger. Sorry. You don't lack chromosomes. My bad, my bad. Sometimes my mouth keeps running on autopilot, so I cannot control myself very well. But rather than continuing her verbal attacks, the bookworm starts apologizing out of nowhere. Seeing a girl with bandages all over bowing her head slightly, the bully changes his attitude and lowers his arm. Phew. An apology is a good start. At least that gives us a little room to wiggle. I do not want the bully to target Laura and Kurikawa because they are trying to protect me. Rachel and I turn to look at Kurikawa, puzzled by her words. With her backstabbing history, there is no way she is backing down on something this severe. I bet Kurikawa is trying to find another way to break her opponent even further. After all, she single-handedly changed the situation last night without anyone's help except her own. Okay, I only need to tiptoe closer to the girls quietly to make them unaware of my presence. If push comes to shove, I will not hesitate to prostrate myself to ensure their safety. Yes, it is a simp move, but my dignity value drops significantly low when placed right next to these girls. Please, let me correct myself. You don't lack any chromosomes. It's actually the reverse. Chapter 63, Another Voting Chapters. Chapter 64, Rachel, I am his plot armor. Hilarious. I cannot even hold my voice anymore. What did Kurikawa? How did? Why would she do such a thing? C is completely speechless. He cannot think straight anymore after such a bombshell from Kurikawa. When I glance at him, my love is clearly stunned by the action of the bookworm. His reaction is totally understandable, to be honest. I do have to wonder if C knows how cute he is at this instance. And Kurikawa, now that is how you insult someone intellectually. After all, obscenities are only at the entry level when it comes to degrading someone. Making them question their IQ while simultaneously calling them a retard is, without a doubt, on a different plane. Besides, we are not on the same level as the bullies, so we will not be using their way of speech. That much is clear as night and day. There is no need for us to lower ourselves like that. I can say that Kurikawa has an astounding ability to use her words with utmost certainty. No matter the location or time, she can whip those out without any problem. It must be because of her job as the school's librarian and her interest in books. Ever since she joined the conversation, Kurikawa has taken control of everything. How she attacked the bully's intellect and underhandedly called him a retard has been a treat for me to see. C may have a different opinion, though. Not once or twice he talked about jumping in to help her while risking his own safety. Even though he, out of all people, understands perfectly clearly how strong my ability is, C still wants nothing to harm me. That is what I call chivalry. Kurikawa may fall a bit behind me when we consider raw strength alone. Still, her ability to make everyone feel mad is second to none. Yesterday, she double-crossed Laura and me without being found out until the end of everything. That should be an achievement on its own. I mean, I can understand the way she is trying to protect my love. Without special powers given by the system that governs everything, she had no choice but to come up with something else. And in this case, it is the ability to screw someone up using mere words only. Still, I find it a little bit dangerous. Reckless, even. There is nothing wrong with using words to fight. However, the drawback is that Kurikawa can only do this while I am around, since only I can guarantee the bastard will not harm C or anyone else. If there were only C here with her, the bully would not hesitate to attack the two immediately. Unless, she has already taken me into her consideration. When I glance over her side, a gaze is also sent back. It seems my hunch is correct. She has already considered everything, yet acts as if her actions are from the spur of the moment. What a sly fox. Even C is fooled by her deception. Nonetheless, it benefits my love. Therefore, I have no issue with her. I owe her at least that. You bitch. What did you mean by that? The punk shouts at Kurikawa with a red face, looking like a tomato about to burst. But answering him is simply Kurikawa's chilling smile. Oh, sorry. My bad. Is it too difficult for you to understand? What the hell was that supposed to mean? You bitch. Oh, man, he really is pissed off. Okay, let me move over slowly like this. It is good that the girls are not noticing anything. If something happens, I will run headfirst into that bully and push him down to buy some time for them. Should I ask Rachel if she brought her knife with her? Maybe I should. Having a weapon on me is much better than charging in empty-handed. The drawback of asking that so bluntly is a complete denial from her. There is absolutely no way for Rachel to give me her knife. The blonde-haired housewife never allowed Han to partake in a fight. That same situation can be applied since the target is me. You are correct. Trust me. No need for that, see. Do not forget that I am here. Nothing will happen to our bookworm. Unless you want her to suffer, I will not let anything happen to Kurikawa. It means you are a retard. Laura answers nonchalantly. How on earth are you even breathing with that brain? PFT. That is it. I can no longer be calm and collected anymore. Wahahaha. Upon seeing my reaction, the face of said bully is even more red, so much so that it is turning purple. The amount of rage, shame, and embarrassment in that body must be tremendous. Actually, based on the looks on his face, I think he is about to go nuts. Whoosh. Gra. Instantly, while screaming like a lunatic, he swings his fist forward at Kurikawa with all his might. Her bang sways slightly from the air pressure, Yet she shows no sign of fear. The bookworm stands her ground, unflinching as if waiting for something to come. Die. Shit. The worst thing has come. Wait a second, Rachel. What is she doing? In less than a second, my body moves in front of Kurikawa. One hand of mine grabs the flying fist before it can touch her. Already expecting me, the bookworm adjusts her body slightly to not collide with my body. At this point, there is no doubt that she has been planning for this to happen. With a tiny pan, the bully's knuckles are stopped in its track within my palm. The impact is by no means small, yet it is nothing that I cannot handle on my own. What? How are you able to block that? It seems that the bully is flabbergasted. I wonder if he thinks of me as someone feeble and delicate. Contrary to his reaction, Kurikawa is as calm as ever, and Laura does not seem to care a bit. Rachel saved Kurikawa. That is, a little unexpected. As a Yandere, she should not be doing that. I would have to thank the gods if she did not try to hurt her or anything else for that matter. Then again, she has been willing to share a boyfriend with Laura. Come on, silly C, you should look at the current me, not the past me. I am your Rachel, not this world's Rachel. No. There is no way I should be thinking like that. I should judge her based on her present, not her past. My thoughts of Rachel based on what she did in other iterations alone are just lazy and unfair. She has shown me more emotions and pain than she ever did. That is why respect is the least I can give her. I can feel my heart flutter from his wholesome thoughts. If I did not know any better, I would say that I was transmitting my thoughts to him just like he has been doing to everyone. Thankfully, that is not the case. My love would instantly run away from me right when he found out what I wanted to do with him. Oh. The things that we can try. See, dearest, I cannot possibly love you any more than I currently do, dummy. Obviously, the school bully seems surprised. His face is still purple due to anger, but his mouth is widely opened because of my sudden appearance. Guh. Cut. He tries his best to pull his arm back out. However, no matter how much he is forcing and shaking, it has no use. I can guarantee that. From behind me, C hurriedly asks, Rachel. Are you all right? Don't worry, C. I'm unscathed. I look back at him with a smile. There is not a single thought behind his words. Besides being worried, he is not even thinking anymore. C is simply trying to look out for my safety. Believe it or not, this guy is bad news. We should get on our way. School is about to start, after all. This small discussion has taken too much of our time already. My darling explains. This may sound too much like a coward, but I have no idea how to handle the school bully. In the past, whenever I tried to kill him, the script would change so that he lived until the very end to decimate Laura and me. The role of being Laura's savior was never meant for me but for Han. Now that their affection has been pushed toward me, I have no clue. Unlike Han, I have no plot armor. Let's get away from this guy first, then I will try to find a way later so that the girls are not involved in this mess. It is okay, my love. Lucky for you, I am your plot armor. Remember to reward me later, okay? Crack crack crack. Gah. Rachel, I didn't mean to punch you. I tighten my grip so hard that cracking sounds can be heard from the bully's hand. However, before C can think about my action, I throw it back at the bully, pushing him back a few steps. I can break it if I want to. Still, right now is a bit early for C to remember my protectiveness. At least, I plan to do it whenever he is not present. My love should only know the best thing about me. Everything else can be hidden in the darkness for his ease of mind. Very quickly, the face of the bully turns pale, and cold sweats appear on his forehead. Although I did not break it, I figured some cracks in his bones would be a good starting lesson. Sorry, Rachel. I was meant to hit this bitch right here. That girl behind you and the brown-haired one insulted me. They laughed at me, you see. What are they to you? The bully tries to appeal to me. It is utterly ridiculous how he still thinks that he has a chance. Does it matter that much? Instead of answering, I toss another question at him. It does. Because I would not have lost my temper like that if I knew better. All thanks to you that things did not take a drastic turn, Rachel. If you weren't here, I would have. He points at the class rep and the bookworm. Kurikawa opens her mouth to say something, but a familiar voice has already spoken with pure disdain. Tell me, school bully A. What would happen if Rachel was not here? Would you have punched Kurikawa in the face? Would you have called bully B and bully C here with the camera? Would you have raped them while I watched? Chapter 65, Where is Han when you need him? What did you say? The school bully looks straight at me, still red from previous verbal attacks. The girls all turn back. Their thoughtful eyes are filled with anxiety and worry. Do not worry, girls. I am just mad. I meant every word. What would you do if no one was here to stop you? They may not know whatever crap I just spouted. And frankly, that is a good thing. The past is hideous to look at. Rachel is frowning deeply after hearing my words. I wonder what she is thinking about. The class rep does not say much but moves one step closer to the bully with her fists clenched tight as if preparing to go all crazy. As for Kurikawa, she moves forward, completely blocking his view. For some reason, she makes me feel like the bookworm is a meat shield. With that formation, saying they are desperately trying to protect me would not be an exaggeration. Beats me. Something fun for the whole gang? But what are you going to do about it, you puss? Standing behind these girls like right now? Do you see yourself as a real man? Grow some balls, will you? It can be seen he is trying to vent his anger onto an unlucky someone. No doubt my taunt has shifted that attention over here. Maybe the girls noticed that, too. Still, this is not their fight. Wait, it is their fight. I am just a mob. There is no reason for me to be here right now. Nevertheless, I asked him a question, and he's just standing there like a retard. Honestly, what are you girls seeing in him? The bully points the finger at me. He has nothing special. Like how a side character should be. I sure am. See. What a pathetic little pussy. Wahahahaha. Regrettably, neither do I possess superhuman strength like Rachel, an intelligent mind like Kurikawa, or a straightforward attitude like Laura. That is where the difference between a mob and the main cast starts. He is right. I have no distinctive feature to be proud of. When I was still busy thinking of ways to escape the bully, Rachel faced him head-on without any doubt. Blondie managed to do something I did not have the guts to do, protect Kurikawa and Laura. In fact, the moment she took her stance, in my heart, there was admiration. She was like an idol or a hero to me, a real heroine. And that is just Rachel alone. Shut the hell up already. The class rep shouts. Laura is so straightforward that she does not hesitate to confront anyone if she feels the need to do it. The class rep does not care what everyone thinks of her and does what she thinks is right. You didn't hit him hard enough, Rachel. Kurikawa looks Blondie. On the one hand, Kurikawa does not seem to stand out from the three. That is only a facade she created. I understand she does not yet have the chance to prove anything, but that is her strength. No one really knows when Kurikawa will strike. Yeah. Rachel nods. Unlike these girls, who can do anything they want and will try to get it by all means, I am hesitant. There is a big chance of me messing things up again, and I am terribly afraid. Right now, it is not me protecting them. It is the reverse. I am such a coward. In my hands is none of their strengths, like how a dispensable character should be. That also explains why I could not get anything done in the past. After so many trials and errors, I have been cursed with knowledge. How things will go, how things will end, how people will be hurt, all of them are inside my head. Because of said experience, it is not foreign to me that things will never work in my favor. It is not simply doubting myself. Concrete evidence has shown me the truth over and over again so many times already. Occasionally, I wish I had enough strength and bravery to go outside the safe zone and wipe everything in my head. Deleting my memories sure sounds enticing if it comes to maintaining my mental state. Just Laura's event alone has left a never-ending scar in my heart, not to mention the others. I cannot remember the number of times I created something worse while trying to get them free. Every time something like that happened, I felt another piece of me withered. However, that and this bully before us are two different things. I could withstand the horror the game created in the past does not mean I like to see something similar happening again. Never had I ever been able to look at their suffering without feeling the excruciating pain deep in my chest. And just now, that bastard. He threatened them to do the same as he did to Laura, for Christ's sake. Now that they care for me more than ever, I would be a heartless bastard if I abandoned them to follow the original script. These girls deserve better than that. I was allowed to go inside Han's mansion and offered food, a bath, and even breakfast. All those things I have never had a chance to try out before were given to me without much thought. I may be stupid, but the warmth they showed me should be returned tenfold. As the face of the school bully becomes the center of my visual field, visions of past failures appear. Immediately, images of Laura being abused both physically and sexually, becoming their toy, and losing her life show up without any invitation. Her agony, pain, grief, the tears in her eyes, the warmth of her blood on my skin, is ever so vivid. My brain is clearly telling me this is not how I should act, that I should not get involved in this mess to keep myself from falling down the abyss of despair this world has given me. When I look down at my hands, they are shaking intensely. Always and always, I am hanging by a thread. Once I fall, who knows when I will be able to climb back up this time? A year? A decade? A century? Or perhaps longer? Is this wrong? Is it wrong for me to interfere? Is it wrong for me to help them? Is it wrong for them to live freely? Of course not. I want them to break out of the system. Everyone has the right to be free of influence. They should all have the chance to think for themselves. But what if the script changes and 3 of them will all be harmed? What if I am alone again? See. Kurikawa calls my name. Startled, I answered hastily. Once again, I let my thoughts run amok. This is getting more frequent. If you're uncomfortable, you don't have to force yourself. We'll be fine. Promise. Right after, she shows me the softest smile I have ever seen. The other 2 also smile at me, completely disregarding the bastard. Sensing my stunned state, Rachel pats herself on the chest. Trust me, I will not let anything happen to our precious class rep and bookworm. I am not your bookworm. Kurikawa grunts. Forget these 2, get back to class first. We'll be joining you later. No need to worry too much, Laura takes out a paper knife and pushes the blade out. Its sudden appearance instantly makes the bully steps back. Looking at them like that, I really do feel happy. I want to cherish them and keep them safe from any threats this world has. I need to do it. No. I must find a way. Think. When he was about to hurt Laura, the bully always had company. They all took part in harming her, shaming her, and ridiculing her. No matter how hard I tried to separate them, they would always group up and hurt Laura again, thanks to the system trying to make things right. Even when I told the class rep to run or hide, somehow, the end result would still be her death. She either did not believe me or failed to escape. The only way for Laura to not die at the hands of the bullies was to be saved by Han. Wait. That is it? The protagonist. Chapter 66, Kurikawa Garbage Disposal. Why did I not think of this earlier? Unlike me, who will make it worse in every way possible, Han can change the story's outcome. If I influence him to change something, the current event has a better chance of being altered. That is his job, after all. As a matter of fact, the protagonist has already done it in the past by saving Laura from the bullies. Besides, I have no reason to fear that my help will become meaningless again. The current situation may be slightly different, but it is still within what I expect from Rachel's biggest simp. Wait, I got it? He is a simple bully. Ha! Sorry about that lame pun, I will see myself out now. Phew. I tilt my head slightly and notice a twitch at the corner of Blondie's lips. It seems that Rachel is trying her best to not laugh out loud rather than being mad. C's thoughts can still carry his unique tone even at this time. I find it amazing to see his attitudes change as fast as lightning. After figuring out how to handle the situation, our faceless guy returns to his usual, aloof self. It is always fascinating to hear his thoughts switching back and forth in all emotions. However, easygoing as C may show, I can sense instability dormant yet apparent in his thoughts. No sane person can switch between 2 drastic ranges of emotion like him. And that on its own is something worth taking notes on. I wonder if the other 2 think the same as well. Han is, without a doubt, the deus ex machina of everything. No matter what obstacles other characters are facing, his appearance will bring the conclusion to the story. If I tell Han to do it, he can make it work. I need to go get him ASAP. My poor C, you really do not need to worry that much. Rachel and Laura have already been freed from their shackles by you. That blonde girl alone can destroy Bully A, not to mention the class rep's beef with him goes way back. The power of those two combined will demolish the bastard in front of us within seconds. The only problem is I feel uneasy leaving the girls like that to find that damn protagonist. On the other hand, if I keep lingering here, nothing will be solved. How the heck am I supposed to choose? Damn my indecisiveness. Seriously. His anxiety is justifiable, though. For someone who has their will and their efforts broken time after time by the system, there will always be a subtle yet constant dread of failure. If I were in his shoes, I would behave exactly the same. The memory world told the story of a man who fell down and tried to get up so many times but to no avail. Thus, a deep dark fear was born inside his heart. He may try to suppress it by joking and making fun of things, but we three can clearly feel his hidden thoughts. Arg. Damn it. Damn you, Bully A. Why must you appear now? I do not want to abandon them again. I'll go get help. Shouting that, C runs toward the school as fast as he can. Please wait for me. I will surely come back. Promise. It is 3 against 1, plus one of them is Rachel herself, so they can at least hold their grounds until Han comes. C is technically shouting in his head now. I can somewhat understand the turmoil that he is suffering. Look at him running away with his tail between his legs. Pathetic. Bwahahaha. Go back to your mommy, boy. Bully A laughs hysterically and points at C's frail silhouette. I honestly do not understand how you came to like that sort of nobody, Rachel. A goddess like you should be with someone like me. Rachel does not reply to that piece of garbage. Instead, she calls out to Laura while glancing over her back, seemingly trying to confirm someone is gone. Did you bring anything? Coincidentally, the class representative takes her eyes off someone from behind her and declines, I didn't. Hey. What are you girls talking about? Bully A tries to make his presence known to us. Is that so? Rachel replies without care. I guess we need to do this the hard way. But look. The class rep suddenly grabs the air. And in front of our mortal eyes, out of nothing, a kitchen knife manifests in her hands. In addition, the said weapon is not just any knife but the one Rachel likes the most. What the hell? Unable to comprehend anything, that bastard screams. I can even see cold sweats forming on his forehead. You're joking, right? Rachel's blue eyes widen in disbelief. Did you see how it happened, Kuro? No, it was like magic. I shake my head. It was absolutely brilliant. Could you teach me how to do that? We collectively ignore the voice of Bully A. Although I do feel surprised about Laura's sudden showcase, it is not to the extent of losing my composure. In the end, our world is inside of a game. Anything weird can be explained relatively easily by saying that. Still, for the people who did not know such a fact, the feat Laura just did was nothing short of a miracle. Was that a magic trick? I didn't know you could do magic. Oblivious to his surrounding, the bully continues talking. How did you do it? At this point, I do not want to waste my energy replying to him anymore. There is no need to talk to a soon-to-be corpse. One thing is for sure, though. His ignorance is getting on everyone's nerves. I know you two have questions. Let's deal with the current thing, and then we can talk later. Our time is limited because C will not be gone for long. Laura then hands over the knife to Rachel. I think you know what to do better than me. Foo. I certainly do. Blondie smiles dangerously. The moment Rachel says so, we all look at the trash bag. Instantly, he turns as pale as a piece of paper and takes another step back. Even though I cannot see the expression on my face, I know C would describe our eyes as void of light if he was close by. Ah! I almost forgot. Rachel, please don't do anything too drastic. We do not need C to find out about the blood spilling on your clothes. If possible, try to leave the ground untouched, as well. For someone like him, a few droplets of blood anywhere can still be a sign for C to flee. I'd suggest pulling that thing somewhere he would never go unless there is an event or somewhere we have absolute control. The easier to clean, the better. Glancing over Rachel's side, I give her a suggestion. And where would that be? Blondie tilts her head slightly. The female bathroom sounds pretty good to me. Laura says. C probably will not try to go into that place. It is big enough, and there are cleaning supplies on the inside once we are done. Precisely. Now, if you don't mind, girls. By the way, Kurikawa. The class rep turns over my side. With a stern look, she says, go buy us some time. You are perfectly capable of doing that rather than what we are about to do. You shouldn't mess things up since, you know. Understood. Baffled by her suggestion, it took me a second to come up with an answer. Laura is right. While the two of them are unaffected by the invisible chains, I am not yet free from the system, so there may be a chance of this world making everything worse through me. Of course, it can also not do so, but that chance is slim. No one knows what this game will do, and I am not the type of girl to take such a risk. What stunned me was Laura's proposal. I thought she would hate for me to get my own chance of being alone with him after last night. What are you planning, class rep? Hey. Don't ignore. Before that stupid incel can finish his sentence, Rachel has already grabbed his head tight. Startled greatly, Bully A tries to pull her hand off his face while trying to scream. Nevertheless, Rachel's inhuman strength is not something that piece of trash can fight back. Soon after, he learns that and starts to frantically throw his arms around to get the attention of the shadow people circling us, looking for help. Sadly for him, they do not pay one bit of attention. SHHH. Keep quiet. We're going to have some fun. A knife is placed upon the bully's neck. Let's begin, shall we? As Laura and Rachel pull the bully somewhere else, I start walking toward the school building. Please, make it as painful as possible. Chapter 67, Laura murdering can be fun, too. We should take our clothes off. If blood splashes on them, it will be hard to explain to C. Rachel suggests. In her hand right now is the limp body of the school bully. If I had not seen it with my own eyes, I would have never believed such a feat to be possible. From my boyfriend's past experiences and the vision he showed, I understood how abnormally strong Rachel actually was. However, now that the truth is in front of me, I cannot help but be completely amazed by her raw power. Nothing will be able to perfectly explain how or why Rachel can hold up a dead body with just one arm other than the ridiculous nature of this game. Why are you starting so much? I'm starting to blush now. She asks me while quickly buttoning her white shirt, revealing the thin layer of fabric behind it, which is covering her breasts. Even though she says she is blushing, I see no sign of her face turning red or being embarrassed. Go on. There's no one here except for us. You know that already. We have a lot of work to do and so little time. I'm curious. Do you feel heavy lifting up all the dead weight? As I copy what she is doing, a question pops up. To be honest with you, a little. That blonde-haired girl thinks to herself, then nods slightly. Just a little. Well, maybe more than that. She then throws the body on the ground like garbage, making a big thud. Just so you know, it is impossible for me to carry more than this. For me, that is still incredibly hard to believe, nonetheless. The fact that someone with a body almost the same as my size can break the neck of a male student is unfathomable. Not only that, she did it as if she was not twisting someone's bones but a flimsy twig. Before I could realize anything, she dropped the knife and masterfully snapped the neck of that piece of human trash. It made me think deeply about the future. What are the chances of me winning against Rachel, given what we currently have? My ability versus hers, which one would win? Of course, even though that day may never come due to our dependence on my faceless boyfriend, planning ahead is never too much. If we are really comparing, Rachel is slightly higher than me. That is about it. She does not look to possess many muscles, no matter what the viewing angle. Yet I can never disregard what she can achieve without any external support. Well, maybe all of her strength is stored in those lumps of meat in front of her chest. Not that I am envious of that. My boyfriend is someone who cares about one's nature and integrity. I have no reason to wish my breasts to be bigger than they currently are. Well, probably a little bigger would not hurt. It's amazing having such a nice body. Who am I kidding? I feel a bit envious, not going to lie. Why, thank you. Rachel smiles. She is in her birthday suit at this point. You have yourself a splendid figure as well. I would call you a dump truck with all that cake from behind. Laura, You should be thankful for that waistline and hips. My hands stop for a brief second while pulling my skirt down. The worst is that when that woman finishes, my dress gets stuck in the middle of my butt, making Rachel's compliment even more notable. Thanks. I reluctantly answer. When you're done, follow me into the shower, okay? We'll start there. My special situation creates a smirk on Rachel's white face. Grabbing the bully by the ankles, that blonde-haired girl quickly drags the dead body across the ladies' room's floor and into the shower. Right after, she turns on the water at the highest setting, splashing cold water down the corpse. Now, where did I leave the knife? Here. Out of thin air, a shiny kitchen knife appears in my hand, just like when I did it before while we were in the schoolyard. Ah. Thank you. She grabs the weapon I offer. And after tilting her head, she continues. Actually, why don't you do it first? An indescribable feeling envelopes me after hearing those words. It is not that I do not want to do so. On the contrary, it is akin to an uneasy feeling when one is about to do something forbidden, both anxious and interested. I have no experience. We need to do this fast, so better leave it to the professionals. Okay, I understand. But this is something I insist on. You see, what we need to do before dismembering the corpse is to drain it completely out of the blood. I need to hold its legs up high. For gravity to do the work. I get it now. Suyuwa. Hey. I clutch the kitchen knife tightly. Don't worry. It's already dead. You're not killing anyone. You're merely dismembering a carcass. Think of it as butchering a pig if it makes you feel better. Rachel raises the dead body up high in the air, right where the water is the most from the shower head above us. And now, let's begin. First, you will need to hold the knife at the edge of the neck, right behind the jawbone. Got it? Yep. Just like that. Now you need to make what I call an ear-to-ear cut. Imagine you are filleting a fish and slicing it wide open. As instructed, I point the knife to the side of the neck, tilting it slightly so that it matches the curvature of the area. It feels weird holding a sharp object when Rachel holds up a body, but I try my best to focus. That's a good place to start. Plunge it in. Don't worry. There will be blood. That's why I turned on the water. With one hand grabbing the back of the corpse's head to stabilize, I slowly pull the blade around the jaw, creating a deep cut. When the metal enters the skin, a gush of warm blood pours out, drenching my entire body in a disgusting, viscous liquid. Immediately, a familiar metallic smell punches my nostrils with its repulsive stench. 2. Even with the water constantly washing away everything, keeping a straight face after what just happened is still impossible. That's it? You're doing great. Keep going. Slice it bigger, sever all the veins and arteries so we can drain the blood faster. That blonde-haired girl certainly has a different opinion about this job than me. In my hands, the blade continues to move under Rachel's guidance. Soon after, the ligaments and muscles are detached as the head is about to be severed from the body. We only need to cut off the spine to finish off the beheading. On the floor, various parts of flesh that I cannot name can be seen. Thanks to the water pouring down constantly, it was easy to see where to cut, making it less time-consuming. Regardless, Rachel abruptly stops and stares at my face for a second. Look at you. Bwahahaha. You look ridiculous. Bwahahaha. Unable to drop the body to the floor, Rachel stands and laughs like a maniac. All that blood clearly is not good for your skin tone and hair color, class rep. Your face is totally covered in blood. Only your ember eyes are showing up. You look like a drowned puppy. And, even that, PFT, you can't open your eyes normally. Ha 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 ha. This is killing me, honestly. The violent splashing sound of water into the shower floor almost drowns Rachel's voice. Yet, it somehow cannot erase the excitement in her words. She seems hysterical, almost. In this instance, Rachel's eyes are not something everyone will ever see. Deep within those pupils is a chaotic mixture of excitement, rage, and disdain beyond comprehension. There is no concept in this world that can fully describe what lies beneath those aquamarine colors of hers. Something inconspicuous. Inhuman. Hardy har har. I can hear veins popping up on my forehead. Strangely enough, her laughter directed at me in these particular circumstances is not too unbearable. I feel a little mad since the blood will be horrendous to clean. The smell is not something I would wear in perfume, either. Okay, don't worry about the spine. I will chop it off once we are done. Let's focus on the intestines next. Suddenly, I have a genius idea to get revenge. So there is this part that is called solar plexus. You need to cut from the center of the chest down to the anus. Do it slowly, or everything will spill out, and who knows what is inside these corpses. I don't think these people eat, though. Chick. The blade enters the stomach, not the solar plexus thing Rachel is talking about. Laura. What are you doing? Revenge. Right after, I pull the knife horizontally, cutting the abdomen wide open. Instantly, reddish intestines drop out on the floor. Wait. No. Ew. And that is how I give Rachel an intestine necklace. Not my best work, but I will give it a 7/10. Chapter 68, Finding Laura and Rachel. Running with all my might, I am filled with anxiety. There is not a second left to waste. Because of that, although I can hear Kurikawa's footsteps behind me, I have no choice but to increase my speed. Sorry, Kurikawa. Since her event is yet to come, the bookworm will be in a different position than the class rep and Blondie. Actually, the fact that Kurikawa is following me is even better. Since my advantage in knowing the story is essentially meaningless at this point, she should not get involved in the event any more than currently. God knows what is going to happen if Kurikawa continues to be there. Don't worry, see. I'll be right behind you. The bookworm claims. The stairs to the upper floor have never looked so long before. Still, despite the shortness of breath, I need to concentrate. A little pain in the stomach due to running is nothing compared to the suffering that can be caused by the system. With the uncertainty of the situation still present, who knows what will happen while I am trying to get help. If something does happen, I will blame myself for the rest of my life. The girls have just shown me a different future, and I do not want to lose them like that. There are two of them and just one of the bullies. If a fight occurs, Laura and Rachel will still be fine. I mumble, trying to persuade no one else but me to believe in that. Yeah. Rachel can kill him by breaking his neck. She is capable of that, after all. Rattle. Han. We need your help ASAP. Busting the door wide open, I scream out the protagonist's name. He is sleeping on his desk still, unburdened and without a care. This motherfucker. How can you be falling asleep so soundly like that when the girls are in great danger? Wake up. Now. Annoyed by his ignorance, I pull his arm hard. But. What? Half awake, Han reluctantly looks up at me. There is a clear line of saliva on the corner of his mouth. Whoa. See. Chill, man. Seeing my desperate attempt, Han's best friend, classmate A, quickly interrupts me. B also joins in. Yeah. What's the matter? Why are you acting so violently? Is class already over? Still living inside of his dream world, Han asks. It's urgent. Laura and Rachel are in great danger. They are being chased by the school bully right now. I scream at his face. Bully? Who? His eyes are still half closed. The damn protagonist seems unaware of what is happening around him. God damn, I hate him so much. Why does he have to be so passive? Have you turned into a complete zombie or something? Hurry up. Rachel and the class rep are in trouble. A asks. I don't have time for questions. Han. We need to move now. I yank Han's arm again and start running out of the classroom. Okay. Seeing how serious I am, Han quickly adjusts himself to the situation. Wait. Guys. If they are in trouble, why don't we call the teachers? What can students like us do? Classmate A tries to stop me from leaving. But it is already too late. Teachers. Yeah, right. Go get a shadow person like Mr. OOO and see what they will do to solve this. If it did make a difference, would I not have asked for Han's help already? Throughout the millennium of figuring things out, I have realized that the events are something only the protagonists can handle. And if Han is unable to protect them, then I do not know what I will do. It is probably best to kill myself and wait until the next reset while hoping I can see them again. While Laura and Rachel will be revived as if nothing ever happened, the chance of them losing their current selves is almost guaranteed. Just thinking about the possibility makes my heart ache. Having the chance to see the girls being real is nothing short of a blessing. They are no longer puppets bound by strings and controlled by a puppet master under a script. Therefore, giving up is not an option. I cannot and will not let go of this run where the girls are different. No matter what happens, I will try everything to save their precious lives. Until my final breath is taken away, I will fight with everything I can get my hands on. But then, looking back at the classroom, I suddenly gain a spark. Hey, A, and you too, B. You should come with us. Since we are classmates, we should help each other out. Right. Honestly, that feels like a long shot. A and B did not join in the event in the past when Laura was facing the bully, even though I tried. Yet my instinct tells me I can make it work this time if I target them directly with guilt. These two guys have been acting strange compared to the storyline, so there should be a chance. Unexpectedly, upon hearing my request, Han stops in his track and nods. Yeah. C's right. We should all help Laura and Rachel. Then there will be 6 of us versus, how many of them again? And where is Kurikawa? 1. I appreciate his dumbness. As for Kurikawa, I'm here. A familiar voice appears. She is a little out of breath due to all the running. What do you say? Han looks back at his besties. Sure. I can't let the class rep be on her own. Standing quickly from his seat, A follows the group. What about you, B? I guess more people are better than not. The guy seems a little uncomfortable. Great. Let's move. Taking the lead, Han runs down the long hallway. My legs carry me forward at full force. My mind is focused on reaching the destination as fast as possible. Even when the school bell rings to inform us the first period has started, I push our group to continue saving the other 2. A few minutes later, we arrived outside the building. At first glance, the area is peaceful. Too peaceful, as a matter of fact. There are no signs of struggle anywhere. Not a single sound echoes through the air, not a trace of the 2 girls except for the lunchbox that Rachel left behind. Even the shadow people are all gone. To say the place is deserted would be an understatement. My heart sinks down the bottom of my stomach instantly, and my limbs grow weaker by the second. Where could they have gone? Did they really escape from the bullies? Or maybe they were caught? Did the story catch up to them? Did I create a much worse fate for them again? The thought sends shivers down my spine. Where are they? See. Han looks at me after glancing around the area. Should be here, right? I see a lunchbox. Where can they be? Am I too late? Please, please. No. Not again. Not again. Laura. Rachel. Where are you? Desperate, I shout from the depth of my chest. It is my fault. I should not have abandoned the 2 girls. I should have been there with Laura and Rachel. And now they are gone. It is because of me. Because of me. I pulled them into this. They stepped in because they were protecting me. Always. 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 Because of me. Laura and Rachel's faces flash across my vision. The soft smile of our class rep when she woke me up this morning, the seductive look in Blondie's aquamarine eyes, the touch of warmth that I was never given until yesterday. It dawns on me, finally. There is no way for me to experience those from now on. I lost them. As I stand aimlessly in the middle of the schoolyard, everything starts twisting and turning as if I was put inside a spinning wheel. I feel dizzy and sick to my stomach. All that I desire now is to disappear. See. Kurikawa grabs my hand, and Han grabs my shoulder before I can hit the ground. Are you okay, see? The bookworm runs in front of me. Her beautiful emerald green eyes are filled with tears. You're shaking. Her hand is so soft and warm. I do not understand it one bit. Why is Kurikawa crying? For someone like me, is it really worth it? Han tries to calm me down as well. Don't worry, see. Everything's gonna be fine. I bet the 2 girls are just around the corner somewhere. Yeah, bro. Maybe they are in the bathroom or something. Ack. A sentence is cut short as if he is choking on his own spit. Crap. Her, too. A and B look at each other without saying anything after that. I do not pay much attention to their shenanigans at this point. However, A's previous sentence gives me a little hope. Thanks, guys. I was a bit depressed after thinking of some bad memories, that's all. It is indeed too early to sit down and cry like this. Unfortunately, I tend to look at the worst possible ending because of all my previous experiences. When I see something vaguely resembling the past, my brain instantly returns to those days. The only thing it knows best is to blame itself when that happens. Laura and Rachel are in danger, and I must be there as fast as possible. Even if I want to be a wimp, I must do it while running after them. The more time I lose here, the worse the outcome will be. I have decided to fight for them again, so this much is nothing compared to what the future holds for us. If possible, I will need to divide us into groups. Kurikawa and I will be checking out the bathrooms. Han, if it is fine with you, please check out the storage room with A and B. Everyone agrees immediately. There is nothing else we can do but search every inch of the school until the girls are found. I cannot afford to lose anyone. Chapter 69, Rachel, wait. Don't come in. Rachel. As I continue chopping the intestines into smaller pieces for faster disposal, the class rep calls out my name. Not stopping my hands nor turning my head, I give her a quick reply, I'm listening. Strangely, Laura does not say anything after that. She merely sits there and observes what I am doing. I have to commend her for her strong will, actually. Minutes ago, she was uncomfortable looking at blood splashing onto her cute face. Laura's pale face made me think she would vomit at any second. And now, she is staring at me with curiosity in her eyes. Even the headless, gutless corpse beside her is unworthy of paying attention anymore. If C were here, he would have been stunned to death by the contrast. In the corner, the class rep's amber eyes shine brightly on a perfect face, showing me the beauty of unmatched proportion. Next to her is a gutted, headless human carcass whose blood is still dripping slowly. The scene is by no means something that you would see every day. Who would have thought this pretty little girl butchered a human? Of course, she did it under my guidance, so let's say I take 20% of the blame. She even gave me an intestine necklace. My body still stinks because of that. Times like this remind me we are never ordinary, to begin with. Me, Laura, Kurikawa, the not yet arrived princess, and many others are crazy at the core. No sane human will be able to have such an ability to adapt as we do. It is unnatural, to say the least. But I am used to it by now. Don't worry, this is not for consumption. What we want to do is to mince these into a paste so that we can flush it down the toilets. After that, well, we need to take a bath. There is no time for us to do anything else. She shakes her head from left to right. No. I'm not thinking of that. I'm thinking about C. Yeah, me too. I glance over and nod. She is covering her whole body by hugging her legs. Smart. What did you see, Rachel? Last night. A sudden question comes from her. Finally, it has come to this point. I know it is only a matter of time until either Laura or Kurikawa asks that question. There is nothing shocking about her inquiry. If I were her, I would do the same thing. You know, the past. I answer half-heartedly, wanting to play with her a little bit. Sadly, between the two of us, the one who has a funny bone is me. You know well that is not what I mean, Blondie. She looks at me intensely. Then, using a serious tone, the class rep states her case. You had a complete switch in personality as if you flipped a light bulb inside your head. Look at what we are doing currently. Where did you even learn to cut a body open when you did not become a true Yandere? You're not just good. You're a professional. Thanks. I take pride in my craft. I really do. In response to my joke, her expression turns cold with a hint of annoyance. In addition to that, ever since you kissed him, C has been calling you Blondie in his head. He has never changed the way he addresses any one of us except for you. There is only one reason for that to happen. That memory he showed you was so special that it made his unconscious mind remember something. It's true. There is no need to lie if she already figured out that much. Unlike Han, who has dirt for his brain, Laura is much more intuitive. Or should I say the girls are more intuitive? The truth is, class rep, I am not the Rachel you know. What is that supposed to mean? A frown appears on Laura's face. She is definitely taken aback. Chop chop chop. The chopping sounds are almost washed away by the water falling above us. I would love to have a wooden board to do the dissection. It would be much better than hitting the floor because I will chip the blade. Perhaps it is already chipped, even. I mean it literally. Then, I put the knife down and point at the red chunk of mushy meat. Here, scoop these up with your hands and start flushing them down the toilets. Remember to scoop less than the size of your fist per stall. Otherwise, it will clog up the plumbing system. Laura sighs deeply, then begins picking up chunks of flesh. I hate this. It's disgusting. Me too, I agree with a smile. But it is necessary. You still have to explain what you meant by saying you were not the same, Rachel. Laura's voice comes from the booth next to mine. Crack. After the head and the guts, arms and legs are next. Driving the knife straight into the armpit, I use more force to break the shoulder bone. The sound of the metal cutting through the bones makes the surrounding air vibrate. Unfortunately, these places are harder to cut with the simple kitchen knife I am holding, so it will be more time-consuming. I do not think it would be possible without the abnormal strength I was given. How about this? You tell me what you saw, and I'll do the same? Fair, right? Very well. I saw my death. To be more exact, I saw what happened after my death. Laura comes into the booth and scoops some more meaty chunks with her hands. C jumped off the rooftop after that. She sounds a little sad. There is no need to verify what Laura says. I know C would have done such a thing. Interesting. And after that? That's it? The moment C decided to end it, the vision got cut. Laura continues. So, only one. I confirm it once again. Yes. Why are you asking that? Did you see more than one? The class rep's voice becomes louder. First, I saw C giving Han ideas to make him a better man. And? What's the other one? I saw the end of the world. Almost everyone disappeared. Putting the knife down, I stare straight into Laura's shiny brown eyes, making sure she understands I am not making a joke. Is that it? Laura turns silent after that, but she does not forget to take the rest of the guts away. I know I am not telling the class rep the rest of the truth like we were the only ones when the apocalypse came, but does Laura do that? Just because I do not want history to repeat itself does not mean I will do everything for her. After all, I am a selfish person. When C touched me, I was only shown the vision of his endeavor, what happened during the trials and what he did to change it. However, when I kissed him, I was brought to an ending that consisted of C and me. Laura's case was similar. She was only sent back to the middle of the story rather than the end of it. Then, it is not wrong for me to hypothesize it like this. A touch will set a heroine free from their curse. At the same time, it will show them what C had done for them when he still wanted to help them. The only problem is that it will create another person to watch out for. On the other hand, a kiss will bring them to an ending where C achieves his goal of saving that particular heroine. This, of course, needs much more evidence to back it up. Over time, I think we can finalize the answer with the help of the other girls. Laura. Rachel. Are you here? Suddenly, I hear C's worried voice coming from outside. Please, girls, be safe. Crap. Did Laura not send Kurikawa to stall him? If he gets in right now, we are done. Kurikawa probably told him we were going to the bathroom to make C less worried. Then why is he sounding like that? If it was not for the lunchbox, I would not have been so stressed like this. But Laura and Rachel forgot about it. Therefore, their reason must have been so significant they could not bring it. Nearby, Laura looks at me with a what the hell expression. God damn it. I forgot the lunchbox. See. There was no other thing. I swear I was being klutz. They're inside, see. Let me go check, okay. Kurikawa speaks softly. Wait. Just to be safe, let me go in with you. But, this is the ladies' room. I can hear the panic in Kurikawa's voice. Chapter 70, Laura, The Art of Distraction. Yes, I know this is the ladies' room. Outside, I can hear C sighing deeply. But I need to see with my own EY. Never mind that. I need to see that they are safe. It is not the bookworm's fault. No way can she guess what the school bully can do with the help of the system. On top of that, Rachel and Laura are the same as her. If not shown directly, there is no way in a millennium that they can understand the gravity of this current situation. In case of the bully still tries to cause them any harm, I can at least stall him for a while for the girls to run. Thankfully, there has been no cry for help or yelling from anyone makes me feel a bit more at ease. Everything looks like it is still within boundaries. Please, Kurikawa, let me come in with you. I know I am not giving Kurikawa any room for negotiation right now. Even her face looks a bit perplexed. Who would not be, honestly? She will never reply with sure, go ahead, and let me in without thinking anything extra. Our relationship is not nearly enough for the bookworm to allow my ridiculousness. Rachel, though, may behave differently. Laura, too. How about this? I will look for them on the inside for you. After all, what do you think people will say if they found out you ventured into this place? Kurikawa struggles to convince that faceless boy. I appreciate your thoughts, Kurikawa, but I must make sure they are safe. Besides, there is no one here except for us. So if you don't say anything, everything will be fine. I promise. God. C is dead set on finding us no matter what. We cannot dispose of the body that fast. Rachel is hardly done with the limbs, and I still have a small mountain of minced organs to flush down the toilets. The moment he sees this mess we created, the best outcome would be a massive trust issue, and the worst would be him running away from this place and killing himself. Hold on? Why did you say safe twice? Unexpectedly, the bookworm asks him with his own words. Sorry if I am overthinking this, C, but you are adamant that something bad is happening to Rachel and Laura? It almost feels as if you know. C is immediately stunned. Outstanding. I would have thought Kurikawa was naive if we did not know what she could come up with. By now, it is undoubtedly clear that C wants to hide his knowledge and experience as much as he can to protect our relationship. Using that to her advantage, Kurikawa is able to stand on the same ground as he is in this conversation. Crap. What am I going to do? How am I going to answer that? The truth? Yeah, right. We need to think of something fast. I whisper into Rachel's ear, trying to keep the volume as small as possible. Thankfully, the falling water is helping us cover our voices. He's not going to give up like this. A flash of panic appears on Rachel's face as she gently puts the kitchen knife down, making almost no sound. But I thought you sent Kurikawa to delay him. I never thought such a sight would be possible. That thieving woman always appeared to have everything planned. She could have if someone did not leave the lunchbox behind. Bluntly, I say. Ack. Rachel's face turns sour quickly. Of course, she cannot say anything to defend herself. She made a huge blunder in our plan. Because of it, there is a situation we have to deal with. This is bad, I mutter, looking around. Kurikawa cannot hold him for long until C starts questioning her. We need to distract him with something. It has to be big. In addition, it has to prove that we have nothing to do with the bully. With her eyes wandering inside the shower, Rachel fixates on the gel bottle mounted on the wall. My darling needs to have the dark thoughts in his mind erased by something magical and pure. However, the last half of her sentence instantly makes my blood boil. Your darling. SH. Class rep. We have no time for that. She does not even try to hide the rising corners of her mouth. We need to focus on the thing at hand. It looks like you have it sorted out already. I glare at her. To think you were panicking a few seconds ago. Well, no one is perfect. Except for that guy. She puts on the most gentle smile I have ever seen. No matter how flawed he is, C is still the most perfect being in all existence. Agree. I nod. No need to dwell on this matter so much. It is factual already. So what's the plan? This. She pushes the shower gel, and soap comes out from the bottom. C's inner voice is clearly hinting he is afraid of us being harmed by that dead thing. What we need to do next is to wash away those dark thoughts. That's what I'm thinking, too. The best way to deal with this current event is by walking straight into it. Exactly. Rachel then promptly rubs her hands and starts putting the foamy soap on the top of her head. Not stopping there, she puts a little foam on her breasts and nether region, barely covering any of her beautiful body. Just follow my lead. Okay. Wait. What do you mean by that? Why are you walking out in that state? I have a bad feeling about this. Unlike her, I am not that shameless. She pokes her head out of the shower room. Let him in, Kurikawa. My darling is just in time for a little treat. Although the sound of water running is loud, Blondie's cheerful tone is still unmistakable. She is experienced in putting up a face for him to see. Yet, it is by no means fake. Laura is in here with me. Say hello, class rep. Trying to sound unsuspicious, I mimic Rachel's tone. Hi. What are you two doing in here? Morning class has already started. That makes my heart relax a little bit. If Rachel and Laura were in grave danger, Blondie sure would not have behaved in such a way. After all, she does not really show that side of her to anyone. However, at the same time, Rachel's mischievous tone also feels like an alarm bell has gone off somewhere deep down within me. Why does she sound so upbeat like that? Judging by how she has been acting around me, I am both worried and interested in what she has in store. I have been telling you all this time, see. They were cleaning themselves up only. You know us girls. Kurikawa explains. So, do you still want to come in? I should not, but... Yeah. He is really walking in. I am still butt naked. Well? Laura. Hurry up. We'll meet him halfway so C won't see the body. By doing this, all of his worries will be gone. That shameless woman looks at me with a snicker. This is the best plan I can come up with. It is your choice to follow it through, though. Damn it. There is no time to think of anything else. I must act now, or Rachel will be in front of the curve for the second time. She already took his first kiss. If I dally this any further, she will be the one to have his first time, too. We just started dating yesterday. I have no problem with kissing C and hugging him, but still, showing him my naked body right on the second day is. Will my boyfriend think of me as a loose person? I see that you are still not determined. Very well. I can't wait for C to look at me anymore. See ya, class rep. After leaving that sentence, Rachel walks out of the shower room, chuckling as if she has won. Vile woman. Disgusting. Argh. There is no way she has been like this since the beginning. Absolutely. No. Freaking way. It must have been because of the kiss. I would have had the same mentality if I had seen what she saw. Why did I not kiss him when I had the chance? Damn it. Come on. Laura. You can do this. You are the one and only straightforward and serious class representative. You love him with all your heart. What is wrong with showing a little skin if you have already decided to be with him for the rest of your life? Just get it over with already. Crap. I can feel my body temperature rising exponentially despite the cold water. Even without a mirror, my face is definitely beet red, no doubt about that. The thought of him glancing over my entire naked body is both embarrassing and exciting at the same time. So much so that it makes my heart runs completely wild. Yes, I know how much C suffered because of me in the past. Even if I had to take the sky down to make it up to him, I would still do it. However, I have no experience in dating, let alone doing something this drastic. Suyu. I do not want to lose to that woman who has lost all sense of shame, not in a million years. And yet, my heart is pounding madly as I open the door. As I run to catch up with Rachel, I purposefully leave no trace of soap on me. If she wants to play, I will give her the game. What in the actual fuck? Chapter 71, The Princess Comes to Class, April Fool chapter by author. Chapter 72, A Brief Moment of Peace. Finally, everything is peaceful once again. In my visual field, there is a well-defined Mr. OOO writing gibberish on the blackboard, the girls sitting where they should be, and one sleeping protagonist with drools all over his desk. Despite the sudden appearance of the school bully, followed by his disappearance, I am glad that no one was harmed. But I wonder, should I look out for the school bully? Like where he has gone to? Maybe I should ask the girls. Just in case he comes back in the future? Rachel jolted. Laura, too. Coincidentally, as I glance at them, they both notice and turn toward me. Laura nods with a light smile while Rachel waves her hand without care. These Yandere's girls sure have terrific awareness of their surroundings. Hot damn. Sometimes I think these two are sisters or something. They react almost the same, albeit in their own ways. If it was not for the influence of this world, Rachel and Laura could have been great friends. The two are like two sides of the same coin, I think. Oh. I should pay attention to Kurikawa, as well. After all, she was the one who helped me keep my cool when I found out the class rep and Blondie were gone. If not for her, maybe I would have collapsed on the spot on the school ground, unable to get up to go find the missing people. As for the bullies, there is enough on my plate already. I do not give a rat's ass about some one-off villain the story created to make Laura suffer. Now that my internal and external turmoil has settled, I can dedicate this peaceful study session to myself. Phew. Talk about an eventful morning. I mumble. Sadly, there is one tiny thing keeping me away from true tranquility. I cannot sit. I literally cannot sit still. Especially not when the bulge in my pants is not settling down. Due to their special show, now I have to sit in class with this thing trying to look up from my crotch. And no, it does not feel comfortable. My pants are not nearly big enough to handle something like my friend downstairs. God. Laura and Rachel did not play it fairly at all. Who in their goddamn mind would think the two would greet me in their birthday suits? Not to mention one was completely naked, and the other one had soap covering her sensitive parts. Did Rachel not know that was very counterintuitive? Doing so would only make me focus on those locations rather than diverging my attention elsewhere. Plus, when the soap bubbles started popping and revealed her delicate body, I slowly saw everything she tried to hide. Something tells me, no. That is not mere guessing anymore. I know for a fact that Blondie did it on purpose. This morning, Rachel has been doing various things to get my attention. Therefore my conclusion that she was doing it to woo me was not just a baseless assumption. And the class rep, too. I never thought she would show her body like that to me. I mean, I understand she is in love with me at this point. If our relationship continues, someday, we will get to that point. But cutting corners and being determined and straightforward must have limits somewhere, right? When I looked at our class rep, the first thing that popped into my mind was the word embarrassed. Laura was beet red from head to toe, for goodness sake. Smoke was coming out from the top of her head as if she were a boiling kettle. Please do not stare so much. She told me with a meek-like voice and a couple of teardrops in the corners of her beautiful brown eyes. Probably, she was shaking slightly, too. Seeing the usual strict class rep in such a wild situation, I felt something inside me awakened. Yeah. Now that I am really thinking about it, perhaps I want to see more of this defenseless side of hers. Bulletin hack. Ack. Suddenly, the class rep coughs violently, so much so that her face turns red. But before I can ask anything, she turns toward my seat and makes a hand gesture, implying that she is still okay. Over at the sleeping protagonist's side, right next to his table and placing her chin on her arm, Rachel has an amused face. There is no need to explain that she finds our class rep's ordeal humorous. After all, the relationship between the two is that of rivals more than friends. Do not get me wrong, though. I am not saying I want to see more of Laura's vulnerable state because I hate her, nor am I complaining. On the contrary, her naked body was nothing less than a divine blessing to me, giving me a boost in all those happy hormones, which washed away any negative thoughts I was suffering at the time. When I entered the female restroom, my heart was filled with anxiety and self-blame. Honestly, I wish I could remove all those emotions, yet I could not. It was a part of me, and I had to accept it no matter what. Thankfully, the appearance of those two girls gave me the reassurance I needed, although it was not what I expected. In addition, I thought our class representative and the blonde-haired girl did not have a good relationship, especially after what happened last night. However, the reality was baffling to me. At least they were taking a shower together. That means good, right? Right? Ahem. Anyway, that is that. No need to dwell on it any further. Honestly, I hate talking about my pain and suffering that much. Not only I but everyone has their problem, so I should refrain from complaining. Doing so will only drive people away from me easier and bring up negative emotions. With the bully out of the way, I should be thinking about how to proceed from this point onward with the main storyline. Truth be told, my knowledge about the girls is useless right now. Firstly, Rachel's main event is already busted because of me. Instead of being with Han, well, you know how that went. Since then, Rachel has been very touchy, pouring all her feelings onto me like a doting wife, despite not being my legal girlfriend. I worry that one day, Blondie will jump out and outright murder Laura due to envy and jealousy. Or vice versa. Who knows? Chew. Hee hee. From afar, that blonde-haired girl blows me a kiss. From the way her mouth moves, I can make out 3 words. I love you. Oh, stop it. You just had to make me blush during class like this. Instantly, Laura turns toward Rachel and sends her deathly stares with a face that says she is annoyed. I am sorry, class rep. One of these days, I am going to be murdered for reacting to Rachel's shenanigans for sure. Where did she learn all these tricks, really? I never saw her doing anything like that to Han. Defense, see defenses. Do not falter into her sweet temptations. Yeah, I know Rachel seems vastly different from her original settings, yet being cautious has helped me escape death many times that I cannot help it. It has been only one night since her change, and it will take more than that for me to think differently. That will probably come with time. 100 years seem like a nice round number. After Rachel's event is the class reps. Needless to say, Laura's death flag is completely busted with the help of Rachel. In the past, she was supposed to face the bully alone and head on because he was bothering the classroom too much. Without being given a choice, she had to do something to stop his actions as the class representative, all according to her settings. But in the current run, a few minutes ago, the trio, which comprised Laura, Rachel, and Kurikawa, confronted the school bully. Of course, I have no clue if he is coming back and starts pestering Rachel again. Regardless, seeing the reactions, I am confident to have not just 1 but 3 of the yanderes on my side this time, not to mention Han is turning into quite a good pal. If I ask for their help, there should be no problem disposing of the bully. Finally, and probably the most trouble currently, is Kurikawa's case. I want to save her, no matter how hard it is. Chapter 73, What Will Happen to the Bookworm? I think many of you probably have guessed it correctly. After all, the plot is clear as night and day. Although I cannot see or hear or even feel you, my hunch is that you all know the girls' personalities are built upon the settings of this world, masked as the main storyline. Let us discuss that in detail. The creator of this world takes a familiar rom-com trope and puts as much pain as possible. Why, you ask? There is only one reason for it, honestly. That is to turn the respective heroine into a psychopathic yandere who thinks of nothing except sex and violence. All that suffering is created for only one purpose, character depth, and for viewers to see. And it works. By the gods, does it work? For example, Rachel was a girl with an unrequited love for more than 10 years. Ever since she was a little girl, she has thought of the day she would finally don a white dress while holding a beautiful bouquet of orange, her favorite color. Each day of her life was devoted to the higher cause of getting married into Han's family without much thinking to herself. In her mind, happiness was to become one with her childhood friend. Rachel is interested in me now, so that is certainly not the case anymore, but it used to be the only reason for her to wake up and live. I do not think there is a need to say her settings were that of a violent girl with no empathy for others. Of course, I also mentioned many times about her feats, showing you how she was also very sexually aggressive and did not care what kind of pain she would inflict on others who stood in her way. The reason for that is precisely because of her background as a childhood friend. In order to be with her love for the rest of her life, anything and everything in Rachel's aquamarine eyes is irrelevant. Thus, she became a tyrant who would decimate all obstacles no matter the cost. Her type, or in this case, her event, can be considered psychological. Compared to Blondie, Laura had yet the chance to develop into a full-fledged yandere. That said, it did not mean she was not one. In fact, the class rep tried to kill Rachel many times when they confronted each other after she was saved by Han from the hands of the school bullies. Her actions were similar to our Rachel, with all the knife and stabbing. However, there was a difference between the two. Rather than trying to murder a rival, I would say Laura's reasonings were closer to that of protection than possession. She perhaps wanted to save the protagonist from a dangerous individual, whom she saw the true nature. Of course, due to her not being one of the main heroines, Laura eventually died while being tortured by Rachel in one of the most creative ways possible, forced to chew and swallow the weapon she used on her enemy. In her case, it is more physical than psychological, though I cannot deny the psychological aspect of it. Also, I have no doubt Laura is either hiding or she is in the process of becoming a yandere. For obvious reasons, I would love it to be the first case. This may seem illogical, but a yandere who is good at hiding is also a yandere who can keep her emotions in check. In addition, a yandere like so means she will not suddenly turn violent and murder everyone on the spot. She may pose a threat to many other girls because of that reason alone, but for someone who she loves dearly, me, she is indeed very welcome. My lesson for the day to you guys: a stable yandere is a bangable yandere. Ahem. Sidetracked again. In short, pain is the theme of I Will Survive with a harem ending. Does not matter what kind, be it physical or psychological. As long as there is pain, the characteristics of the girls are justified. They become monsters under the influence of the system. Actually, even the main character cannot escape that pain. It has been proved countless times already by all of Han's deaths. Sigh. I hate this world so much. Near the windows, close to Rachel's location, there sits a girl with black hair, diligently noting down all the rubbish writings on the board. Kurikawa is so elegant no matter what she is trying to do. How she holds her pen while gently pushing the tip, or when she is using the eraser and then slowly gathers the crumbs into her hands, making virtually no sound at all, is simply stunning beyond words. It is as if I were looking at a lifelike painting. It matters not the number of times I spend looking at her, since the first thing I would say is wow. Our bookworm possesses what people would call an elegant traditional beauty. Silky long black hair, a slender body, and voluptuous breasts, her looks rival that of Rachel and Laura. It goes without saying she is worthy of the title of a heroine. Even more so, her soft nature with the hidden traits of a masochist has created many scenes where the protagonist would do nasty things to her. I do not want to be rude to her by saying this, but she was like a fetish pool the author created to satisfy their pervertedness. And that is also where the system puts the pain on Kurikawa. As one of the main targets, she must suffer to build up character. Unlike Rachel and Laura, Kurikawa's pain was both psychological and physical. I desperately want to save her from that event. Even if that means she will hate me for it, I will stop it from happening. This time, I should be able to do it. With the precedence of Rachel and Laura, it should be possible. If Blondie and our class rep could achieve their freedom from the plot, Kurikawa should be able to have it, too. It is only fair to give her that chance. I personally will not give up after putting up a fight with the system this time. That is my resolve. Now that Kurikawa is not fond of Han that much anymore, it is up to me to pull her out of her misery. Sadly, I do not think I can ever give her the affection she needs most. Both of my arms are tied to two girls already. Since I am no Han, I doubt I am able to handle more than those girls. Merely maintaining the balance of one immovable wall, namely Laura, and one unstoppable force, Rachel, is too much for my feeble mind. Any more than that, and I will be dead at the end of the week. Perhaps dried up after too much snoo or worse. Still, dying from snoo seems favorable, to say the least. Just kidding, though. As if something like that is going to happen with those two. Like an achievement, I am counting how many days I can be with Laura and Rachel without being stabbed to death. Being able to wake up tomorrow is already a blessing of its own. At the beginning of the protagonist and Kurikawa's route, the bookworm hardly exhibited signs of a masochist. Not until after her event did that part of her start to show. It triggered a switch in her head. Deep within Kurikawa was a pain more than anything she could ever feel. Sadly, the only way for her to relieve that pain was to suffer in another way. The bookworm desperately looked for a way to lessen the burden she had in her chest. That was when she found out self-harming was a way to keep her mind sane. The bookworm felt indebted to Han and would try to make it up to him in any way she could. Slowly, Kurikawa would ask her boyfriend to increase the intensity of the so-called treatments until he killed her in one of their intercourses. If you guess that is it, I have worse news. When the pleasure of sex was at its peak, Kurikawa asked Han to choke her neck. Being a pushover, Han hesitated but complied with that request anyway. That turned out to be a horrible decision. In such a situation, I suppose people would use a method to signal a stopping point. Asphyxiation is stimulating, no doubt about that, but not so good you should die from it. Unfortunately, Han did not know as much as I do now. The protagonist did not know when to stop or what to ask. And as Kurikawa continued to experience immense pleasure from being strangled, neither did she. She wanted it to happen. She died at the hands of her most favorite person in this world, a way for her to atone for her wrongdoings. I still remember Kurikawa mustered an apology before passing out for good. Seeing her state, Han was perplexed, to say the least. Because the apology was, "I'm sorry, mother." Kurikawa, in her event, would murder her mother, which would haunt her for the rest of her days. Unable to live with guilt, she chose the suicide method. The protagonist was her preferred person. I already know the ending. The only thing to do now is how to prevent it from happening.